Hi everyone, good morning. So this is our lesson for today, chapters 3 and 4, arrays and user-defined methods. So let's proceed. Previously, we have discussed variables, identifiers, reserved words, and keywords in Java, as well as the control structures available in our Java programming language. Now we will proceed with arrays. So an example declaration of an array is int, the braces, num is the name of the variable or identifier equals new int 5. So as you can see, how many elements will the array num contain? So it is 5. So the last number that you placed on the last pair of brackets in the declaration before the semicolon is the size of the array. So this can be represented by drawing, which points num into 5 elements. You can also have a representation of A and B. Okay? So what is an array? Array is a collection of variable all of the same type. So suppose we want to declare 10 different variables instead of using different variables such as A, B, C up to J. Ang gagamitin na lang natin ay yung array. So iisa lang yung kanyang pangalan, nagkakaiba lang sa index ng element. So the array element starts with index 0 and ends with the size minus 1, such as in this example. So other declarations, we have int alpha brackets, comma, beta. Which among the two is an array and which is not? So obviously, alpha is an array because the name of the declaration or the identifier contains or has a pair of brackets, square brackets. How about beta? Beta now is an normal or regular variable. Although nasa iisang declaration sila, um, beta is still a regular variable because it doesn't have the pair of square brackets. On the next example, we have int square brackets gamma comma delta. So which among gamma and delta is an array? Correct. So both of them are arrays. So if we append the square brackets in the data type, this actually declares all other identifiers to become an array. In the third example, we have a declaration of int brackets list is the name of the identifier or the variable equals pair of curly braces. Inside it, we have 10, 20, 30 up to 60. Okay, and then semicolon. So in this case, since we have 6 elements, this is what we call declaration with initialization. The list at length or an array that length, okay, will return 6. So for the next loops, if you want to place or an input inside our array, you can make use of the syntax for int I is equal to 0, semicolon, I less than list.length, semicolon, and then I plus plus. And then we only have one statement under the for. That is list of I is equal to console.next 8. So in this case, gumamit siya ng scanner. But in our case, what we are going to practice is to make use of JOptionPay as input and output objects. If we wanted to print the contain or the elements of the list, we will have system.out.print list sub I, okay, plus, and then space. So this will actually print 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Paano naman kapag gusto nating i-compute or i-calculate yung laman ng isang array? Okay? So for this instance, the last example 4 actually calculates the sum of all elements of the sales array. Okay? So that is sum is equal to sum plus sales and then the index. Or you can have the shortcut operation that is sum plus equals sales of index. So we have an example here of a one-dimensional array with different methods. So the first method is the fill array. What you are going to place here, if you will call fill array, is the array, comma, the number of, or the size of the array, or the number of elements. So the fill array actually accepts input from the user and fills in the elements of the declared array. For the second method, that is print array, we still have the parameters list or the array and the number of elements. Ang gagawin naman ito, i-display lang niya yung laman ng ating array. For the sum array, we still have the parameters array and then the number of elements. And then using a for loop, we calculate for the sum of the elements of the array. For the next method, that is index largest element, the parameters are still the array and the number of elements. And then what we have to do then is to identify the maximum or the largest element in the list or in the array. And then the last method is the copy array. So we actually have several parameters such as the first array or the original, and then the source, and then the source is the size of the array, okay? And then we have another list, which is list 2, and then the target is the size of the target, and then the number of elements. Actually, the target serves as the index of um, starting index of the uh, target array. Yung SRC naman is the index where we are going to start copying the elements. Okay? Ngayon, hindi nagra-run itong program na ito because it doesn't have the main method. So the main method now is needed in order to manipulate all these user-defined methods of the one-dimensional array. Let's now proceed with two-dimensional arrays. So, kapag ka two-dimensional, dalawa na yung square brackets na naka-append doon sa data type at doon sa may number. So, yung first number na part, which is 10 in this case, ay yung row, number of rows, which index starts from 0 up to 10 minus 1, which is equal to 9, as shown in the figure. Yung 5 naman refers to the number of columns, which index starts from 0 to 4. So if we wanted to print the elements of a two-dimensional array, we are going to make use of how many for loops. So in this case, since dalawa na yung dimensions, dalawa din yung for loop natin. The first one is the one that will traverse each row, and then the inside loop or the inner loop will traverse each column within each rows. Okay, so this slide is actually a two-dimensional array initialization declaration with initialization. So the first array is board. Okay, in the representation as shown in the figure, you can see how each element will be placed there. Hi, sir. And then, so the next array, a two-dimensional array, that declares table to be a rag or jug array. So what is a rag or jug array? So these are arrays which columns are not equal. So if you will notice guys, yung first column natin, we have 4 elements, or first row natin, 4 elements. Second row is 2 elements, and then the last row has 3 elements. So if a particular two-dimensional array doesn't have equal columns, okay, per row, that is what we call a jugged or a rugged array. So what you're going to do in your activity is to display, just to display the output of these two predefined arrays. Okay? So making use of the option A. Let's proceed now with multidimensional arrays. So kapag one-dimensional, para siyang listahan. Kapag two-dimensional, in table form. Kapag ka naman more than 2 dimensions, that is now what we call a multidimensional array. So in this case, how many dimensions do we have? 3. Since tatlo yung ating numbers or the size of the array, that is 10 times 5, 50 times 7, 350, we are going to make use of a for loop in order to traverse each of the elements of the array. How many loops? So there is loop inside a loop and another loop inside the second loop. So since 3 yung dimensions, 3 din yung ating magiging loop. Okay. Now let's proceed with the last topic, which is user-defined methods. In this case, we have the main method as the first method, and then we have another method, which is public static, boolean, strange, and then the parameter is 1. Okay? What do you think this program outputs or checks? Okay. So if you will notice in the main method, the while loop loops until it reaches less than or equal to 29. The counter starts at 0 and is being incremented by 4 every time the loop executes. Okay? So what might be the last number that will satisfy the condition num less than equal to 29? Yes, that's correct. So that's 28 because you start with 0 plus 4. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12 until you reach 28. Okay? How about the second method? What does it do? Okay? So if you will notice, we have the modulo operator and checks whether if the number, okay, the parameter that you send to the method is divisible by 2 and 3. Okay. So if the number is not divisible by 2 and 3, it will return false. If the number is divisible by 2 and 3, it will return true. Okay? So I think I have already sent the example program in our group chats about this user-defined method. So that is just the process of declaring another method inside your class. Okay? So if you will notice, pareho lang sa declaration ng main method. Yun lang, depende dun sa return value. In this case, we have Boolean. And depende dun sa number of parameters that we need. So we are about to end our discussion. So these are actually practice questions for you to answer. So this will also be part of our quiz next week. So for your activity, you run the following user-defined methods using the inputs 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So as usual, we are going to make use of the option pane to display the output. So you can opt to use only one class in running the program, these two methods, or you can also make use of two different classes. Okay, so I think we already have discussed the concepts of arrays and user-defined methods. See you next week. Have a nice weekend.